This podcast is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our ABCC's podcast. And you have myself, Marcus, here, and Alan as well.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast. So what we're going to talk about today, Marcus?
Yeah, so today's topic is going to be quite interesting. It's a little bit different from what we have been usually talking about. I think last time all our previous podcasts were all about just pure cryptocurrency events, tokens on cryptocurrency tokens. But this time we decided, there is something out there in the current market that is actually changing a lot of things on how it is usually worked about. And one of the biggest movers and one of the biggest technology changes in especially like 2023 where we see is actually ChatGPT. So if you guys have not heard about ChatGPT until now, it's going to be really strange because ChatGPT has actually revolutionized a lot of things that people do on a daily basis, if I can say. And so without further ado, maybe Alan, you can walk us through a little bit on what ChatGPT is.
Sure, definitely. So basically, ChatGPT is this new AI and research company, which was found by OpenAI. So ChatGPT is a part of the products from OpenAI. And it was launched on 30th November 2022. So OpenAI, which is the company behind ChatGPT, is an artificial intelligence research nonprofit company which was founded in 2015 by Sam Altman, Reid Hoffman, Jessica Levington, and Elon Musk, who has collectively pledged $1 billion USD into this research nonprofit company. So the mission of the company behind is to develop a safe and beneficial artificial general intelligence system. So in 2015, OpenAI changed its status to cap profit company, meaning it cuts return from investment past a certain point. And then in 2018, Elon Musk chooses to step down from the board as there's a conflict of interest between OpenAI and the autonomous driving research being done with Tesla. However, he still remains as an investor and shares his excitement for ChatGPT's launch. Okay, so what is ChatGPT? So it is a prototype AI chatbot that has gained a lot of traction among the public for its human-like detailed answers to inquiries. So this AI chatbot could potentially revolutionize the way people use search engines by not just providing links for users to sift through, but by solving elaborate problems and answering intricate questions. It is a software program to stimulate human conversations and was made available to the public on November 22nd by OpenAI's website. And then ChatGPT uses the GPT 3.5 language technology, which is a large artificial intelligence model made by OpenAI that has been trained on a massive amount of text and data from a variety of sources. The bot boosts a dialogue format that allows users to provide both simple and complex instruction that ChatGPT is trained to follow and provide detailed response to. Of course, ChatGPT has been able to generate intricate Python code and write college-level essays when given a prompt, which boosting the concern that such technology can replace human workers like journalists or programmers in the future. So put simply, ChatGPT is a language model, a way for machines to understand human language. It was trained on enormous amounts of online text. The model can be used to generate content that seems like it was written by a real person. However, the program has its limitation. including knowledge base that ends in 2021. But technology produces incorrect answers, constantly using the same phrases, and when given one version of question, the bot claims it cannot answer it. The software, though, has reached 1 million users in less than a week after its launch.
Have you tried ChatGPT yourself, Alan?
Yes, I have. Been using it quite often for the past few months as well. I think it's definitely, I feel like it's actually a really big breakthrough. I think it's a bit like the first time we used Google, like in a way, because everything you can basically get a good enough answer to most of the questions.
100% agree. I think it's actually quite scary how real and how good and how detailed the answers that they give us. In fact, I've been using it quite often myself, and I realize all these answers, you'll probably see them in real conversations that you make with others as well.
Definitely. And I think the biggest difference between Google search or using ChatGPT is like when you use Google search, sometimes you don't understand the answer, right, from the links. Or ChatGPT can ask it to elaborate in different angles.
Yeah, correct.
And then, it's somehow it's actually get a better result when you're doing any research on any topics.
Yeah, the surprising thing, Alan, is that ChatGPT isn't the first AI chatbot that was created. In fact, a lot of companies like Microsoft have dabbled in the world of chatbots, but they haven't actually seen as much success as what ChatGPT has done. In fact, Microsoft had a bot which is called Tay, Tay, and it was launched in 2016. But what happened was, the funny thing, what happened was a lot of Twitter users actually thought it like misogynistic and racist rhetorics. And in less than 24 hours, the entire bot Tay actually, they actually suffered real badly and ultimately led to its demise. And actually, Meta tried its hand in the world of chatbots as well when it released BlenderBot 3 in August last year. However, much like Microsoft's Tay, the bot actually came under fire for spreading racist, anti-Semitic, and false information, such as claiming that Donald Trump won the 2020 presidential election. So those were the bots were actually manipulated widely by how the social media actually tried to change the narrative of what the bot is actually doing. And to avoid such types of scandals, OpenAI, which is the founder of ChatGPT, OpenAI actually employed moderation API. So this moderation API is an AI-based moderation system that's trained to assist developers in determining whether language goes against OpenAI's content policy, which blocks unsafe or illegal information from passing through. But OpenAI also admits that there are still flaws within their moderation, and it actually isn't 100% accurate as well. So I think OpenAI has created this ChatGPT, which has, like what Alan mentioned, revolutionized the technology and what many people are doing for their daily lives and using ChatGPT. But how are many actually utilizing ChatGPT? So a lot of people, instead of going to Google to search for questions, they actually use ChatGPT right now. So answering questions as a replacement for Google search has been one of the top things that ChatGPT has achieved, and achieved with great success, if I can say. The next thing that a lot of people use are things like generating headlines, writing an abstract for a scientific article, writing product descriptions, blog posts, and other types of content that you can think of. And also, one very big thing that, in fact, I witnessed it myself firsthand, is assisting with homework. I was really surprised, especially so when my nephews and my nieces asked me if I've heard of ChatGPT, and I was like, "What? Have you all used it for for your own stuffs. And they told me, like, don't tell anybody, but we use it for our own homework. We just need to change it, tweak it a little bit here and there, and then it becomes our work. I'm like, that's absolutely crazy. And when I went to go and ask like a couple of other friends, they all mentioned the same thing. They said that their children also use ChatGPT and it's worked for them perfectly well. So this actually might be a bad thing because a lot of them are just riding on this new technology to get their work done. And a lot of them are very young children, and they may not even, get the knowledge that they are supposed to with regards to their homework. And of course, it is very shocking because one of the events that happened was that ChatGPT actually passed the Wharton MBA exam. That was extremely crazy. So, the professor at Wharton actually organized the test, and he mentioned that ChatGPT did an amazing job at basic operations management and process analysis questions, including those that are based on case studies. The fact that ChatGPT can actually pass a Wharton MBA exam is extremely mad because this just goes to show how much content and how reliable an AI-based program is. And to be honest, I think that it actually can take over a lot of human work that we do right now. And if you look at research on ChatGPT, UBS has actually confirmed that UBS research has actually confirmed that ChatGPT is the fastest growing consumer application in history. No other consumer application in history came close to ChatGPT's adoption rate. And I think just based on numbers wise, ChatGPT has amassed 100 million active users in only 2 months into its launch. Take note that it only launched on 30th November 2022, which was about 2 months ago. And it has made it the fastest growing consumer application. And in comparison, when we compare, TikTok took 9 months to reach 100 million monthly users. ChatGPT took 2 months. And Instagram took about 2.5 years. And Netflix took about 3.5 years. So I think that is already a big comparison to what ChatGPT has done to everybody in the world.
Yeah, I think it's really impressive with the user ChatGPT can grow, and also how it actually changed a lot of office, or even like how we interact with the internet. So what's next for ChatGPT? So one of the things we can think of is it could be another like iPhone situation. So a lot of experts are comparing ChatGPT and the first iPhone back in 2007. Since the two is bringing power of AI into the hands of non-technical users, I think over 84% of Americans now having a smartphone, and some believe that the AI tools will become a household staple for many folks. So you could imagine in the future, or in the near future, a lot of the current technology will involve with ChatGPT and AI to further make our life more efficient and higher quality. Another thing will be any legal ethical concerns. So a lot of tech companies have avoided introduce a similar product due to a lot of legal and ethical concerns. Of course, they're worried about the tools could be harms their own brand and reputation. So speaking of this, I think recently Google also tried to launch their own version of a chat AI, but it turns out to be a disaster for the not able to, like, the AI wasn't able to find the right answer to the questions, and there was a lot of drama about the failed product. And then, of course, the paid version is coming. I think actually the paid version for ChatGPT has launched, at least for Singapore, is ChatGPT Plus. And then, of course, the paid version will allow paid users to use the product in parity. Maybe they will have a lot of the premium product, and allow them to gain access of their own API. I don't know, but I think the ChatGPT Plus will be something that will give a lot of perks to all the paid users. And then, of course, we will see some opposition to ChatGPT. So I think like all the new tools in the world that we met in the past, there will always be a mixed reaction to this software. Some will probably feel like it can be excellent teaching aid, and some actually will be worried that a lot of work can be just done through ChatGPT, and there's no longer needing any like journalists, or even like you're saying, like the students can just use it to plagiarize their work. So actually there was a new tools called GPT-0, which is actually a tool to check the article or the work was done has got any info by any AI writing. And then, of course, the next thing ChatGPT is trying to transform is the search engines. So Google's management team has declared code red when ChatGPT was released. Google has a stronghold in the search engine business for a long time. This fears user will now turn into chatbot for help rather than filter through website provided by Google. I think anyone use Google, you have to sift through websites when looking for information. Google plans to release a 20 AI product share version of its search engine with the chatbot features. I think the biggest issue for Google chatbot is that roughly 80% of revenue still comes from digital ads. And Google will also worry about safety and misinformation of the chatbot. Another thing AI will be transforming will be the education system. So a lot of concerns about teachers about plagiarism, since the chatbots can write an essay or create work from a simple prompts. Many teachers express worries about what this could mean for education system. Some school has already banned the tool, while others has brainstorming how to incorporate it into the classroom. And also, probably it will change a lot of the research industry. So AI-powered chatbots are going to become variable aids, which is when it comes to research. Instead of filtering through search engines, you can find relevant information with a simple text input. You can use chatbot to automate, simplify specific tasks. People may not use manual assistant for research and filtering through articles in the near future.
And this marks the end of part 1 of our podcast. See you guys again next week. The information contained in or provided from or through this podcast is not intended to be and does not constitute as financial advice, investment advice, trading advice, or any other form of advices. The information in this podcast is general in nature and is not specific to you, the users, or anyone else. You should not make any decision, be it financial, investment, trading, or otherwise, based on any of the information presented in this podcast without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or financial advisory. You understand that you are using any and all information shared in this podcast at your own risk. You are solely liable for any losses that you may incur from investing, and in no event shall we be liable for any losses which may be incurred while investing. Trading of cryptocurrencies is highly risky and may not be suitable for the general public. All opinions expressed by the program participants are solely their own current opinions and do not reflect the opinions of ABCC. Participants' opinions are based upon information they consider reliable. ABCC does not warrant the completeness or accuracy of such information and should not be relied upon as such.